Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for episode number 62 of AppScan Tuesdays. Today I'm going to do an update to a session that I did back in May in episode 53. You can see it here on how you run your first DAST scan in ASOC. And why am I doing this update? Because we just pushed some updates and enhanced some of the capabilities of what people can do with DAST. Everything that you did before will still work. But what we're going to focus today is on new capabilities that were added into the DAST scan, and also about some new capabilities that we've added to show you what is going on while we run DAST scans. So, with no further ado, I'll just jump directly to the demo, and let's go there. So I'm going to use the same application that I used last time, my first application in AppScan Tuesdays. You can see the same one in the video. It was created in May, and I'm going to show you the new capabilities that we've added. Okay, so I'm going to create a new DAST scan. I'm going to scan demo test fire. We have two options. I can test live production sites or sites that is in staging environment, in testing environment. Obviously, it's recommended to scan the application while it's still in the staging environment before you push it production. We can find more details, we fill all the forms, and you want to capture everything before you push it production. But in this case, this application is already live, so I'm using the live production site. For the login, if you can check the videos with the details on how to do what this means, but basically I can scan an application without providing credentials, with providing the username and password, or with providing the actual traffic, the actual actions that were needed in order to log into the application. I'm going to skip this step for now and do and mark login is not required, because I'm going to explain on the activity recorder next. So now we get to explore. Up until yesterday, we only had the option to do explore automatically. Now we've added this great option of explore with guidance. Basically, it means that we can tell AppScan, we can guide AppScan how to crawl the application. There are some details on how to do this. The easiest option is to use the AppScan Activity Recorder. If you don't have the AppScan Activity Recorder, click on the link. You will get to the Chrome Web Store and you can install it. As you can see, I already have it. So I'm going to show you how it's being used for the Explorer. Basically, it's the same whether you do it for the Explorer or for the login. I open a new tab, I go to the application, and I click on the plugin. Once I click on the plugin, I get this notification, and I'll search for something. This is what I want to capture now. So I'm going to search for a term. I'll go also to load product, maybe go to contact Altor Mutual, and that's it. Those were the parts of the applications that I wanted to record. I'm going to stop the recording, going to give it a name, Guided Explore. And this part is done. Going back to the wizard, I can now upload the recording here. AppScan takes this, and now we need to tell AppScan what to do with this file. The first thing that we need to tell AppScan is this a multi-step sequence or a regular Explorer where the order of the actions, where the order of the pages is not important? This is critical point. If you're recording a sequence where the steps are important, where you can only get to the second step after doing the first step, and only then you can reach to the third step, this is called multi-step. And when you do multi-step, it means that AppScan will later, when it tests step number 3 or step number 5 or step number 10, it has to replay the request that led to that step. That means that if I enable this, the scan will take much longer, depends on the length of the sequence. In most cases, this is not needed. The second part is, what do you need to do with this? What does AppScan need to do with this guided explore.config file that I uploaded? One option is use this recording as a base and continue full automatic explore with the capability that we had here before, explore automatically in addition to this, and then test everything. The second option is only use what I recorded, what I uploaded, and then run the tests on the elements that were found. Going to networks, we have the public network or private network. Private network we covered last time. This is when we need to use a presence. I don't need to use a presence here because Demo Test Fire is a publicly available application. If you want to learn about AppScan presence, you can check the other video that I mentioned. On the communication, I can tell AppScan this server is very fast to respond or very slow to respond. So take your time. Don't mark these requests as responses timed out and drop it. Just wait longer. I can also tell AppScan to try to adjust the timeout as it is running during the scan. So if AppScan identifies that requests are being responded quickly, it will shorten the timeout. As this scan, as I mark the scan as in production, we are not going to touch the other capabilities. So I'll go for a second to the environment, change it back to staging, come to the network. I can see that I have more capabilities now. I can tell AppScan how many threads to use when scanning this application, single thread. And I can also tell it how many requests to send. If the connection is good, AppScan will try to run in 10 threads, sending 10 requests every second, or go as fast, maybe 50 requests per second, maybe 100 requests per second. It really depends on the responsiveness of your network. In some cases, if your application server is not that strong when you run on staging environment, this will crash the application server. So you may want to limit the request rate to 5 requests every 10 seconds, maybe. I'll go back and mark this live production, and we go to network and we don't have that option. And test options, I mentioned that last time. I'm going to go fastest just so the scan will complete quickly. Review and scan, I see all the information that was done here, that was used in the configuration, and I'm going to name this scan Guided Explore. Running this scan. So while I'm waiting for the scan to start and run, I want to show you that if I go to one of the earlier scans that I have, the DAST scans, I have now more information. We call this the single scan view. I can see what happened during the scan, which pages were visited, how many elements were tested. I can see the issues by severity. And I can go to this tab, which will show me all the issues that were found in this specific scan as they failed the policy that was defined, and the configuration. So I don't have to generate a report in order to have access and see all the issues. Going back to scans, and I'll go now to the scan that I started, Guided Explore. I can see that 4 out of the 15 pages that were identified were already explored. I didn't start the testing stage yet, and I see here rendering of the scan log. So as we progress on this scan, and I'll come back in a few seconds, we will see that issues are being identified and the graph is being updated with the issues that are identified. Some issues were found, some low issues were found. The scan is still being run. You can see the tests that are being executed, and I can see what's going on. At the end, when I finish the scan, I will see all the details here. I can download the scan log at any point that I want, or at the end of the scan. And let's see what else is new in this version. I'll go to the recent updates to see all the information. So we covered, accept all cookies. We covered the single scan view that I mentioned. It shows you the real-time status and give you the log. It also gives you an indicator if if something goes wrong with the scan and it goes to our scan enablers, it will show you the information that something is wrong. And this means that it is being analyzed by our experts, and you can sit back and relax and let them do their job, and they will make sure that the scan completes successfully. Second part is Scan Wizard Additionals. As I mentioned, we added the option on the Explorer to upload manual Explorer or multi-step file and configure some network limits. We added some more capabilities to the APIs. You can see them here, and also some new capabilities on IaaS, which I won't cover in this video, but you can read in the documentation. That is about it. Everything that I wanted to show you today. So I'll go back to the video. Okay, so this concludes the demo for this time. I hope you found this video valuable. I wanted to make sure that you are aware of the recent changes with the guided crawling. As I mentioned earlier, everything that you had before still works. Everything, if you had integrations, automation, all of that still works. Now we've just added more capabilities on both the configurations and also on the visibility of the status of the scan. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them below in the notes, in the comments. And if you have any ideas, any thoughts on what you want to see in next videos, please let me know. Don't hesitate. And if you are in Black Hat tomorrow and the day after, please reach out. I'll be happy to meet you and grab a beer together and discuss about AppScan or application security in general. Thank you, and until next week, bye-bye.